In one of the most profound moments of God's wisdom ever recorded, King Solomon faces a dilemma that challenges not only his judgment and spiritual insight, but also his understanding of God's heart for justice and mercy. When two women come before Solomon, each claiming to be the mother of the same baby, the young king is faced with a test of wisdom and spiritual discernment that would impact the entire nation and their spiritual awakening. Through Solomon's divine insight, we witness how God's wisdom operates in ways that are not only intellectually profound, but also spiritually transformative. Solomon's proposed solution to divide the child reveals the true mother, showing that love and compassion will always lead us to truth. This remarkable moment in 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 16 through 28, is more than just a story of a king's brilliance. It's a testament to God's ability to reveal truth and restore justice, even in the most difficult circumstances. Let us read the account of this story in 1 Kings chapter 3. Then two women who were prostitutes came to the king and stood before him. And the one woman said, "O my lord, this woman and I live in the same house, and I gave birth to a child while she was in the house. And on the third day after I gave birth, this woman also gave birth. And we were alone together. No one else was with us in the house, just we two. Now this woman's son died during the night, because she lay on him and smothered him. So she got up in the middle of the night and took my son from beside me while your maidservant was asleep, and laid him on her bosom, and laid her dead son on my bosom. When I got up in the morning to nurse my son, behold, he was dead. But when I examined him carefully in the morning, behold, it was not my son, the one whom I had borne. Then the other woman said, No, for my son is the one who is living, and your son is the dead one. But the first woman said, No, for your son is the dead one, and my son is the living one. This is how they were speaking before the king. Then the king said, This woman says, This is my son, the one who is alive, and your son is the dead one. And the other woman says, No, for your son is the dead one, and my son is the one who is alive. Then the king said, Bring me a sword. So they brought a sword before the king. Then the king said, Cut the living child in two, and give half to the one woman and half to the other. Then the woman whose child was the living one spoke to the king, for she was deeply moved over her son. O my lord, give her the living child, and by no means kill him. But the other said, He shall be neither mine nor yours. Cut him. Then the king said, Give the first woman who is pleading for his life the living child, and by no means kill him. She is his mother. When all the people of Israel heard about the judgment which the king had made, they were in awe and reverently feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was within him to administer justice. You know, there are some powerful spiritual insights we can draw from this story. First, we see God's wisdom in action. Solomon didn't just lean on his own understanding, but instead he sought God's guidance. It's a reminder for all of us to seek God's wisdom, especially, well, when we're facing situations that seem impossible to navigate on our own. Also, truth is revealed by love. The true mother's willingness to surrender her claim really shows us that God's truth is, more often than not, revealed through sacrifice and love, just as Christ demonstrated the ultimate sacrifice on the cross. The true mother's heart was revealed through her willingness to lay down her claim for the life of her child. And then there's divine justice. Solomon's ruling didn't just bring justice to the case, but it also pointed to the greater justice of God. God, who is perfect in justice, will always reveal the truth and bring about righteous outcomes, even in moments of confusion and pain. Finally, the heart of God is so clear in this story. The baby represents the weak and powerless, yet God, through Solomon, ensures that even the smallest and most vulnerable are cared for and protected. So let's just take a moment to reflect together. How have you seen God's wisdom and spiritual guidance at work in your own life? What does this story teach us about God's love and care for us, even in the most difficult of situations? And are there areas where you need to trust God's wisdom and gain spiritual insight more fully? Here are a few key takeaways to remember. God's wisdom is always available to us, no matter the situation. True love and compassion bring God's truth to light. And justice and mercy are at the heart of God's ways. If you'd like to hear more Bible stories, teachings, and reflections that help you grow in your walk with God, go ahead and subscribe and like and share this video.